break out those white gloves because the Stanley Cup will be in the building tomorrow in Sunrise, Florida. The Panthers can eliminate the Oilers in Game 6. Brad Marchand's 2 spectacular goals in the last one put Florida right on the brink of a second straight title duty. Comeback kid Oilers, though, have another one in them. You know, sometimes the city lives up to its name. Emily Kaplan joining us from Sunrise, Florida, as we get ready for Stanley Cup action tomorrow night. Speaking of flexing, you're flexing with that background, and so is Marshy right now. What are people around the league saying about his impact this postseason?
Well, Elle, I was talking to one of his former teammates, and I asked if he was surprised by what he's seen by Brad Marchand in these playoffs. And he said, no, because he's an elite player in this league, and he's always had that dog in him. But he said this is a lesson in what happens when you doubt Brad Marchand, because it's just going to motivate him to prove people wrong. Remember, Brad Marchand never wanted to leave the Boston Bruins, the team he was the captain of. But he's 37 years old, was coming off 3 off-season surgeries, injured at the time of the trade deadline, and he and the Bruins were very far apart in talks. The Bruins were concerned of what a contract would look like him past this year. Well, it's looking pretty good because executives around the league are telling me that Brad Marchand has earned himself an extra millions of dollars in free agency. He'll be one of the hottest names on July 1st. And one GM told me straight up he cannot remember a more impactful trade deadline acquisition than Brad Marchand has been for the Florida Panthers.
I mean, timing is everything. And what a perfect time for Marshy to become the first player ever to score at least 5 goals in the Stanley Cup final with multiple franchises. On the other end of that, you've got the Oilers, who are just 1 more loss away from their 2nd straight Stanley Cup final loss. What's Connor McDavid saying about bouncing back tomorrow night?
Well, you probably remember last year when Connor McDavid famously said, we're going to drag them back to Alberta. There was no declarations when he spoke after practice today, but there was definitely a calm, cool confidence in the captain. He said, for whatever reason, our group doesn't like to make it easy for ourselves. This is going to be the 7th potential elimination game they've faced over the last 2 years. They've won all but 1 of them. And someone asked Connor McDavid about the pressure he feels personally to win the cup. And he's like, whoa, that's a heavy question. And he said, I don't view it that way, because if you do, it cripples your preparation as well as the way you play. But he said, I know our group has another level in us, and including myself, but they're going to have a big test with the cup in the building, and big question mark too, because today Chris Knobloch, the coach, said he was not ready to name a goaltending starter. Will it be Calvin Pickard or Stuart Skinner? We're going to have to wait till tomorrow.
Yeah, already the Oilers become the first team since the 2015 Lightning to start multiple goalies in the Stanley Cup final. They famously did not win that series. Emily, if there's anything I love better than seeing you in front of an ice rink, it's seeing you in front of a beach. That vitamin D looks good on you, babe. Appreciate you.
Oh.